Hi everyone, and welcome back to Work Permit South Africa's podcast page. My name is Aadil Wadee, Senior Immigration Consultant at XPatWEB. XPatWEB is the largest independent immigration service provider for South Africa's corporate clients and corporate clients abroad, as well as high net worth individuals. Today, I decided I would like to do a podcast just with regards to short-term visas to South Africa. I think we're at a very crucial point in the year, whereas we are approaching the holiday season for many people. December time, we know it's a good time of the year, but at the same time, there's also a lot of talk with regards to short-term mobilization at this point because a lot of companies are planning for the new year. So that begs the question with regards to what is the difference between the two types of short-term visas available to South Africa. So in one instance, you have what we call a visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.1. And then secondly, you have a visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.2. There's a very big difference between the two because one allows for work authorization, meaning whilst you are in South Africa, you are able to conduct work-related activities for a South African company, whilst the other one is only for, in terms of a work context, for business meetings, for training, etc., but no work authorization specifically. So, with regards to the visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.1, that is for if you are planning to come to South Africa or you have an expatriate who's required to come to South Africa but does not require work authorization. So that's if they're coming either just for vacation, they just need to come to South Africa for a quick 2-3 business meetings over the course of the next month or two, or maybe they need to come to South Africa to obtain training or give training to relevant individuals, then this visa would be the correct category. But it basically means whilst they're in South Africa, they cannot be here on a short-term assignment whereby they are required to conduct any work-related activities during that period. So that is a very key distinction. The reason being is the visitor's visa in terms of 11.1 can be obtained in two separate ways. The first way is if you are from a country which is deemed to be visa exempt from South Africa. So there's a long list of countries, for example, the United Kingdom. If you are an expatriate from the United Kingdom, you do not need to apply for this visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.1 first. All you need to do is enter South Africa, show your United Kingdom passport. When you enter South Africa, the immigration official will then stamp you in with what we call an entry stamp. That will have an expiry date endorsed on it. And for that period of time, you then are more than welcome to remain in South Africa to conduct those business meetings, etc. However, if you are from a country whereby you are not visa exempt from South Africa, meaning to enter South Africa on any basis, you're required to apply for a visa first, have it approved, and then after only enter South Africa. Example of a country would be Nigeria. So if you're a Nigerian national, need to come to South Africa for business meetings, you then need to apply for the visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.1 first. Once that's been approved, only then can you enter South Africa and then conduct those business meetings, etc. So for a lot of companies, it's important to also determine what nationality the expatriate is, what type of activities they need to conduct in South Africa, because based on that, we'd be able to determine if the visitor's visa 11 in terms of Section 11.1 would be the better option. However, as I stated, as we plan for the new year, January is around the corner. A lot of companies want to start the year with a bang, which means bringing in a lot of their talent just for quick turnaround times in January, just for a few months, just to hit the ground running. Then we need to determine, is it a short-term assignment? Is this individual coming to South Africa to conduct work for the South African company, but still remain in the employ of the company abroad? Basically, they're just being seconded to South Africa for a short-term period. If that is ever the case, then the visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.1 will never work. We have to apply then for visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.2, whereby work authorization will be endorsed onto the visa, allowing that individual to conduct work-related activities whilst in South Africa. Why is this important? Because even if you are from a country which is visa exempt, example again, United Kingdom, if you are required to do any work-related activities in South Africa for that short period of time, it does not matter anymore that you are visa exempt, as in just enter the country with an entry stamp. What it basically means, even then, you are required to apply for that visa first in the United Kingdom, have your visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.2 endorsed into your passport, and then only enter South Africa. So very important distinction, because often when it comes to quick mobilization, and if you are from a visa-exempt country, it's quick and easy. It's more just booking flights and arriving in South Africa. But when work gets involved, it changes the process completely, whereby a distinction has to be made. Very important for us to note, especially with regards to any individuals out there or companies out there who are planning into bringing in people for a short-term period, is that as much as it's a lot quicker to mobilize someone on a visitor's visa in terms of Section 11.1, especially if they're from a visa-exempt country, if it is found out that whilst in South Africa and the Department of Home Affairs, for example, does an audit on the company or does a raid on the company, and it's found out that that individual is here on an entry stamp, but they are conducting work-related activities, there is repercussions which will become payable, so in the form of a fine, or in certain instances, if there is a number of individuals, or depending on the day, there is also the possibility of arrest. And that doesn't only apply to that individual, it also applies to the company itself, because that company will be deemed to have known that that individual has come into South Africa on the incorrect visa type and is now conducting work-related activities whilst in South Africa. So very important distinction to be made, especially around this time of the year when we are looking at the short-term assignments as a very possible option just to start the new year afresh. So in terms of other key distinctions between the two visa types, there isn't really much. In terms of documents required, you'll see they're very similar. So a lot of similar documents. However, when it comes to work authorization, you'll always need letters of support from both the South African company which you're coming to, as well as the company abroad. Just to confirm that you are employed abroad, it has been agreed between the two companies that you come into South Africa. It will stipulate the period of time you come into South Africa and why you are needed in South Africa. So very important distinction there, because in terms of the visitor's visa, in terms of Section 11.1, you will need company letters. However, they will only be required to be invitation letters, whereby you were invited to be in South Africa, but it doesn't say anything with regards to work. So as much as they are similar, there is very key differences between the two. Other than that, I think that gives a little bit of an overview, especially as we approach this time of the year. If you guys do have any questions, or if you are struggling to determine what type of visa or what category you need to apply for a certain individual, you're always more than welcome to reach out to us here at XPatWEB, and we'll be more than happy to provide you the necessary answers with regards to the next steps in the process. Thank you everyone, and have a good day.